This is why people come to Makarska, is this area we walk now. This is a coffee bar, and in the evening, this is actually also a party place. If you're not into walking like me, you have a train, you can board. Looking at this, what tools do you need, you know? You need a towel, swimming pants, and that's it. Hi everyone, today we are in Makarska on the Makarsa Riviera, one of the really popular holiday areas in Croatia. And the plan for today is we're going to explore the old town, we're going to have a look at the beaches, we're going to walk along the seaside promenade and see what else we can discover around Makarska. So please join me. Now we're going to head to the old town. I think we can go up here. And Makarska is very different than the bigger cities, Split, Zadar, Šibenik. The Roman history we saw in this city, or at least in Zadar and Split, is not so present here in Makarska. There was other people ruling in Makarska, at least for the early centuries. So that's why you don't find Roman remains and this kind of things here in Makarska. But of course later the Venetians was also here. So now we came to the main square. We're just gonna walk up here. One of the few really historical things is this Venetian fontaine, which you see here. City fontaine from the Venetian time. The cathedral, St.Mark's cathedral. Here it says church, but I think it is actually a cathedral. And here we see the nice square. Makarska has, in the early days, was a lot about agriculture and stuff, and later it really became tourist hotspot quite early, and it's been that more or less since. Of course, Makarska also has a green market where they sell local produce. Right now it's time for mandarina, plums, grapes, watermelons, figs, all in season right now. And of course, you can get all the typical stuff like olive oil, dabadan, maslina olie, yeah. Smoke, oh, these are nice. So all the typical stuff you will find at the market. You can also find here, now we are here at around 11 o'clock. You saw there was plenty of stuff available. And of course you need to come here early, otherwise you will not find anything. Through the city, you have the main old road, which went down the coast between Split and Dubrovnik. That one passes a little bit higher up, and the older part of the city is down towards the sea, and all the new stuff they build is mainly on the other side of the road. And of course you have a few shops here in the old town if you wanna, you know, buy things. But the main shopping is all south of the town, where you have a Lidl, a Kaufland, you have a bigger shopping mall. Oh. And I see the television is here. Well, should we cross? If you saw our video about Jelsa, this, as I mentioned when we were in Jelsa, you have boats from Makarska. This is one of the boats which sails from here and goes to Jelsa. On the opposite side of the street, coffee bars, food places all along. So You're not gonna go to bed hungry when you're visiting Makarska. There's so many options. Another one, Jelsa, Bol, the usual places. Starting point when Makarska started to grow and become a bigger city was when the French was here back in the beginning of the 19th century. They were here maybe for a period of 6-7 years, and that kind of started the city. And of course later the Venetians were back, then the Austro-Hungarians was here for a period, and finally it became part of Croatia as it is today. Hotel Biokovo, of course, Biokovo, because the mountains we have behind us. You see the high-rise mountains is the Biokovo Mountains. So quite impressive, up to almost 1,800 meter high. And you can of course hike up there. You can take various tours, which would take you up the mountain. There's of course a lot of tours which would take you to what they call, I think they call it the Sky Bridge, which is a hanging glass bridge, 1,200 meter, in the 1,200 meter elevation. And from Makarska, I forgot to mention, you actually have ferry connections. You have a car ferry going to St. Martin on Island Branch, and during, I think, only July and August, you have a fast ferry coming, stopping here and connect you with, I think, Bol on Branch. You can also sail to Split with that one, and I actually think you can sail all the way to Dubrovnik with that one also, and the island Cortula. But it's not that frequent, so you need to plan your trip according to the timetable, if that's something you would consider. Should we go up? Yeah, let's go up. It's just a small. Here they do the logger stuff. Eller lock stuff. Wow. Well, at least from this side, we see the southern part of Makarska, tower of the church or cathedral of St.Mark, and the whole bay, which of course is a natural bay because you have, you know, the cliffs, this part, peninsula there, this peninsula here. It's no wonder that somebody decided to found a city here. And here you really see the mountain, how they rise up here. So let's go down. We have a cave to visit, if we can find the way down to it. You see what it says here? Crazy cliff jumping. So last week I was here. They built up a what you call a skeleton here, and they were jumping in the water, doing all kinds of acrobatics. So we're gonna go down here. So the water goes all the way into here. And a lot of fish down there. Wow. And of course this park, very suitable for a run. They're definitely digging something out here now. I haven't read about that, but it looks like they found some stuff or they're rebuilding it. I'm not even sure. Let's see. I think this is the way. Yes, exactly what I was looking for. So good memory, Morten. So what do we think about this as a holiday house? I would say not bad at all. Wow. And you still have purple bougainville here. And these ones, I just love these ones. Wow. Really nice. Wow. So now we are at the Lighthouse St.Peter. St.Peter, yeah. Of course, they put a lighthouse here because they didn't want too many boats ending up on the shores. And as everything around this peninsula is pretty much cliffs and rocks, you know, you wouldn't stand a chance if you crashed in here. So when we are out on this side, we are already the protected bay we saw from when we were next to the statue of St. Peter. We are already on the other side of that one, so, you know, we can't see that one from here. So now we're in the next bay, and this is basically the bay here. I would call it the beach bay because as long as the eye, you can see with the eye, it's just beaches. And we're gonna, of course, walk along them. Here on this side, you see it's concrete rocks. But as soon as we get a little bit further, it's gonna become really nice pebble beaches. But the whole area up behind, that's where this is all these new constructions which came in, in really, really big volumes up there, and they're still building up there. Water polo, what do they have more? Here you can do the parasailing from here. Jet skis, they have subs, water activities. So now, as you will notice, we are moving away from the rocks and the concrete. This is the last part. And from now on, and I don't know how many kilometers out, it is 90% pebble beach. So this walking part here is going to merge into the one which comes from the city, from the right here. And then we're going to go to, I think, what I find the nicest part. You see here next to me, there's a construction area. This actually used to be like kind of a market. There was a lot of, filled with small booths selling souvenirs. There was restaurants, there was the green, some booth which was selling fruit, etc., etc. It was full of this. But now they have a project. They're going to redo this, and they're going to make this into a green area. There's going to be a playground here. You can't see it on the image, but there's going to be a playground. There's going to be some sports activities directly here in next to the center of town. So I think that's a pretty good idea. So here the walking path from the city comes in, and I said we're going to merge to that one. So, and where we're going to walk now, I hope the footage will justify it, but this is basically This is why people come to Makarska, is this area we walk now. We have a walking path just to the left side, you have the beach, or when we get a little bit further, you have a restaurant, a very narrow restaurant, and then you have the beach. And it just continues like this out. Oops, sorry about that. This was the sky bridge I mentioned earlier, where you have all these tours taking you up. And if you have strong nerves, no issues with heights, you can walk out there. And of course, if you're not into walking like me, you have a train, you can board. I'm not sure what it costs, but to say here, one way 10 euro. But it probably goes pretty far out. And I was told, I was here last week and was speaking with somebody about this walking trail, and they said it's 4 or 5 kilometers it goes out. But earlier today I spoke with a owner of a coffee bar, and he said he thinks meanwhile you can walk more or less to Bascavoda or Brela along the water. So we're not going to do that today, that's a bit too far, but I'm definitely going to check that out if that's actually the case, because then it's absolutely amazing. Look at the water. No, you can do a lot of tours here from Makarska, but I'm just thinking, you know, if you want weak, relaxing, looking at this, what tours do you need, you know? You need a towel, swimming pants, and that's it. And I'm told also the nightlife should be pretty okay in Makarska. I must say, I haven't tried it out, but supposedly it should be quite decent. So if you come here with teenagers, they would probably also like it. And here there's a beach bar here which belongs to the bigger hotel. The one which has turquoise balconies and blinds. Last weekend I parked up behind that one. It's way cheaper to park up there and then walk into the city. I mean, opposite direction of what we're doing now. Look here. And you can have a game of water polo if you're a good swimmer. We're not going to go any further out. What we saw now on the piece we walked along the beaches here, it simply just continues. It's similar most of the way. You have restaurants, you have beaches, and we went to a hotel further out today. We will also put a little bit footage, which was, I think, 4 kilometers out from the center. Same thing out there. So it really continues. And if this is true, what the guy from the coffee bar said to me, all the way to Bascavoda, Brela, absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. Anyway, so now we passed by. You saw all these nice places along the promenade, between the promenade and the beach. So we thought, from all the walking, we also deserve to sit and enjoy a cup of coffee. So that's what we are doing now. And as you see, just to the right side of me, we have beach. So if you go to Makarska, you could basically sit here and enjoy this. I think it's awesome. Awesome. What is that from 8 o'clock? 8 o'clock in the morning, a beer is €2. And there's no end time. I think we can stop here. So what we're going up to now, there's supposed to be a observatory here, which is called, it's called Astro Park. I've never been there, so my first time for me also. So we're gonna have a look. It's probably closed today. So pretty much in the center of town, monument, as I see, a monument of the revolution. And then here is the star observatory. But it looks pretty closed. Yeah, it's closed. Let's see. Opened rest of the year. So basically in the summer, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 21:30 to 23 o'clock, the observatory is open. Rest of the year, every Thursday from 8 to 9. So we're gonna add this information to the website. So if you wanna know the opening hours of the observatory, Astro Park in Makarska, you will find all the information on our website. Coffee bar, restaurant, coffee bar, restaurant. Oh, there is a mural here. Tin Ujvis, that's the guy. The ferry was named after him. The ferry we had to Stadigrad, I think. And another square here. Breskola. So now we moved out to the south end of the Makarska Bay, and we're gonna show you a cave out here and a few other things. We are walking out next to the hotel Osejava. And here's of course another beach. I mean, Makarska, I don't need to. There's so many beach options. So here, this is the place I wanted to show you. A natural cave. And this is a coffee bar, and in the evening, this is actually also a party place. But now we're here early morning, so you will have to settle with the footage like this. And probably they allow it because it's a bit away from the center, so even, that they make some noise, it wouldn't disturb people. So the goal from here, we're gonna walk out. There's a viewing point we want to show you. It's gonna take us quite a bit of time to get out there. So let's get going. Somehow I have a feeling there's a better path up here. See, now we found the better path. Less adventure. Actually, we looked a little bit wrong on the map. There's another parallel street, which seems like we should have been up on that one. So we are just trying to navigate here to see if there's any possible way. It doesn't look like it because it looks pretty high. So this is the end of our tour around Makarska. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope our footage gave you the real feeling of Makarska, you know, being a super popular holiday city, which is basically the essence of the city. We walked a lot today. We tried to cover most of the areas, you know, which we think could be interesting. So if you enjoyed it, please give the video a like, subscribe to our channel, and so that you can check out some of the other videos we have from around Croatia and the neighboring countries. So till the next one, that's it. Thank you.